Nope.
I hate the vending machine at work. It barely functions. You have to put double the money in just to get anything out of it. It makes weird noises, like it's going to explode at the drop of a hat. It spits out your money if it has the slightest crease. If the food inside weren't so damn good, I wouldn't bother using it. It showed up 2 months ago. Our company was having its annual Cultural Appreciation Week, full of condescending and tone-deaf videos about diversity and discrimination. They brought us all authentic Mexican cuisine from Taco Bell, and we all had to sit in a circle and talk about our feelings. It's a pain in the ass every year, but this year was especially awful. Don't ask me why. It was during this week that the vending machine showed up, full of foreign candy and snacks with names that are unpronounceable and unreadable, at least for me. None of my other coworkers can figure out where all that shit's from either. We figured it was some diversity cultural whatever stunt. But holy crap is that shit delicious. Which is why I keep coming back to it and struggling with the antiquated, cheap-ass machine. The stuff inside is so good that I have basically stopped buying my daily chocolate bar from 7-Eleven on my way to work. I save up all my change for the vending machine now. But after what happened last week, I don't think I'm going to be using that vending machine anytime soon. I was working late one Friday night because a bunch of people quit without notice in the past few weeks. Totally ghosted the department head. Won't answer any of the calls, won't show up for work, won't even pick up their last paychecks. Idiots. That meant more overtime for me, but at the expense of my blissful hours of laziness, which I devote equally to video games and playing with my pet dog, Peaches. Understandably, I was crabby that night, and decided to get something from the vending machine to take the edge off my nerves. Preferably those little purple balls with the weird clear candy coating. They came in a brown packaging that had some strange symbols written on it in white. I'd been scouring the internet to figure out what the hell they were, but no luck yet. Maybe I'd take a break for an hour or 6 tonight and try to figure it out. If my project didn't get done in time, so be it. Serves the company right for making me work so late. I had just walked to the break room when I doubled back and swore under my breath, hiding in the shadows of a doorway and praying she hadn't seen me. Tammy Carbuncle. Every office has one. She's got an obnoxious laugh and is always scanning the room to make sure people are paying attention to her. She's involved in a bunch of stupid multi-level marketing schemes and pushes them on her coworkers relentlessly. She has no volume control when she speaks and calls everyone hun. She's the polar opposite of me, and not in a good way. I can't stand her. If I could, I would feed her to a pack of wolves and live stream it so I could share my joy with the rest of the world. For some reason, she has an enormous, inconvenient crush on me. And every time she sees me, she insists on showing me pictures of her 2 kids and complaining about how hard life is as a single mom. I stood there inside the doorway like a serial killer, waiting for her to finish. She, too, had gone to the vending machine and was grumbling to herself while trying to feed it a crumpled up $1 bill. The machine, of course, wasn't having it, and she finally let out an exasperated sigh, accompanied by a stomp of her fake designer boots.
Work, you stupid damn thing!
She hissed, Then she raised her hand and slapped the glass window of the vending machine with her open palm. She didn't hit it with enough force to do anything, so I was surprised when the machine let out a strange screeching groan, as though the metal was being ripped apart. From my vantage point, I could see Tammy's eyes go wide. "What the?" Those were her last words. The machine fell. Well, no. Actually, that's the wrong way to put it. It didn't fall so much as it threw itself on top of her. It snapped down on her like a mousetrap, crushing her underneath it. Hitting the ground with so much force, I was sure the glass would shatter. But it didn't. I didn't hear the sound of glass breaking, but I did hear the sound of bones crunching and flesh squishing. A dark red puddle started to leak from underneath the vending machine. Then the sound of grating metal rose in the air once again, sounding like a battle cry. And the machine picked itself back upright. The trap was reset. Tammy's mangled body lay on the floor, bursting with blood and brain matter. She looked like she had been thrown inside some kind of meat grinder. If it weren't for a single stray finger, still adorned with hot pink nail polish, sticking out from the muck and gunk of her flesh, I wouldn't even know it was her. I gotta say, it was an improvement. That's not to say I wasn't horrified. My hand was clamped over my mouth, and I was trying desperately hard not to vomit all over myself, if only because cleaning puke out of a beard is extremely unpleasant. I was too terrified to move, afraid that the machine might see me and start coming after me somehow. As I stood there hesitating, a strange sucking, slurping noise came from the break room. Slowly, the blood and bits of Tammy were sucked underneath the vending machine. Her body, too, was sucked towards it. The grating metal noise returned as it dragged her underneath, reducing what little of her corpse was left, somehow intact, and into something soupier and thus easier to swallow, so to speak. The sucking continued until even the tiniest drop of blood was gone. All traces of gore had been whisked away from the glass window, and there was no evidence that Tammy had very recently met her fate in that room, aside from the smell of blood that was so thick in the air I could almost taste it. By morning, that smell would be gone, and people would start to wonder why Tammy wasn't coming to work. I hid in that doorway for a good 3 hours after that, paralyzed with fear. Then, when I could stand it no more, I bolted and didn't stop running until I reached my desk, grabbed my shit, threw it in my bag, and was home faster than you can say no friggin' way. Which evidently is what I said the whole way home. You're probably wondering why I didn't call in to work sick, or just quit. I'd love to have that option, but I still have bills to pay. Peaches isn't going to feed herself after all. So, until I find a new job, I'm stuck in this cubicle, my ears straining in case they happen to hear that horrible grating noise from down the hallway. I haven't been to the break room since that incident. Not even for Marsha's retirement party. Boy, that made me look like a dick. But I'm not taking any chances. I don't want to be in there, in case that machine goes berserk again. I really am gonna miss that candy though. I've been craving it ever since that night. Maybe just one more visit wouldn't hurt. Maybe if I'm really careful. I guess I'll find out. Hello, dear listener. Thank you for joining me in this week's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to smack that like button down below, or by God, I will send a murderous vending machine to your home to consume you. And if you really liked it, be sure to subscribe for future videos. And let me tell you, if you loved it, there is one more option. It's called the notification bell. Be sure to turn that on, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, I must say, this has been one of my favorite stories to narrate. I really felt a connection with the protagonist. I don't know what that says about me. He was kind of an a-hole, but hey, I can relate. So be sure to show the author some love. I left a link in the description down below. Anyway, until next time, stay safe out there. I'll be seeing you in the next video.